Shalom, first and foremost, all praise and glory is unto Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahshua, Ba'ashim Rachak B'dash, double honor to our apostles, the bishops, the elders of the great millstone, and greetings, salutation, blessings, much love unto you, hopefully like shalom unto you. We brush across with a really quick video, trying to make this super quick, because we're like a broken record. Okay, we repeat these updates and news breaks or whatever, all leading to the MOT to the B. Okay, and what do you see here? Back in just last week, the end of last week, every UK working adult will need Brit card, digital ID under Starmer plan to tackle illegal immigration. Yeah, right. Okay, let's say it does help to tackle illegal immigration, just like over here. So if they're dealing with an illegal immigration issue and we're dealing with an illegal immigration issue, why would it not make sense for this to be here, right? Civil liberties groups warn mandatory digital IDs risk pushing unauthorized migrants further into the shadows. Okay, we've seen different dystopian movies like that. There were a network of people in the movie Demolition Man, with Edgar Friendly was the leader of that. Okay, we're gonna see other things happening that take shape in certain ways like that. Okay, even in the Terminator movies. Okay, the Resistance and John Connor was like an underground network of people that were pushed out of society. Okay, you can even extrapolate, if you will, or hypothesize that they didn't want to take the implant. Okay, so they were fighting against the machines, and they made it like it was just the machines. But even in the Matrix, it was always somebody behind the machines until the machines took over, right? Yeah, that's how it goes. This AI is the same type of situation. So this brick card is supposed to clean up the system, clean up the people, okay, and force people out the system. All right, let's see. We got more on it. All right. And while this is and while that's happening, it's also UK citizens limited to just 2 flights a year, no exceptions, no new rules for flight, and caps flights for everyone. And what's the purpose for that? Why? Because it's a system of control that's being created. Okay, this is the image of the beast that they're creating. Okay, and we know Britain is for sure part of the beast. It's the 7th where the 8th came out of the 7th. And that 8th is America. Okay, we all know how that happened. It's in American history that America sailed over from Britain, right?
Mandatory digital ID on its population, and they're pretending it's for safety. I'm about to expose them. And before I continue, I'd like to make something very clear. This is not a left versus a right issue. This is a government versus the people issue. That's a very important distinction to make. So with that said, the Brit card, an idea initially proposed by Tony Blair, now being carried out by Keir Starmer, is effectively an all-encompassing digital ID. It will initially only store your passport, national insurance number, and other basic information. But what this really is the framework for full totalitarian control. And here are the 2 huge negatives that you need to be aware of. The first is that having all of your information stored in one centralized database makes you significantly more susceptible to life-changing data breaches and hacks. After all, this new announcement is a hacker's dream. Imagine waking...
And think about that. You get hacked, or the government shuts you down and can blame a hacker. And how are you going to know? How are you going to know who did it, who hacked into your system? We've seen this in movies. One of them, particularly one of my favorites, was and it wasn't even a data breach like this. It was more primitive, but it was in the movie Enemy of State. Shut down his credit cards, his bank accounts, bugged him in his clothes, his watch, his pager. That's how long ago this movie came out, like 99 or 2000, something like that. And he bugged him in his pager. It's a Will Smith movie. Okay? Put it in a pen in the bottom of his shoe. Okay? So and what does that because you can get rid of the shoes and all of that stuff if you didn't know it had it on. He said, they're following you. How? I don't have nothing on me. He said, maybe you do and didn't know it. Same thing that the implant can do. Okay? This is why they want the implant, because you can't fake that. They know your blood type. They know your medical history. They know your financial information, your credit history, your social credit score, if you're deemed a good person or a bad person, bank account information, address, ID as far as driver's license status, if you owe taxes, payments, all of this can be right on there. Okay? They can control it.
Today as a hacker, and rather than having to obtain physical copies of identification, keys, passwords, back-end loopholes, and coding to find every detail about someone, it's now all going to be located in the same place. And for those who still don't understand, I'll make it clearer. It's like Voldemort voluntarily carrying around his Horcruxes with him and saying, come and get me, everything's in one place now. It defeats the purpose. The second and worst huge negative is that as it stands, the government already has access to all of the IDs they're claiming are going to be mandatory on the Brit card. So the question must be asked, why is it necessary in the first place? Keir Starmer wants to have you believe that it will magically end illegal immigration overnight. This is a lie. What it really is a gateway legislation to securing more of your data in the future. After they've got your personal and medical data in one place, it won't be long before they start demanding your financial data as well. They'll demand your bank details and credit card information all be added to the same ID, from which they'll be able to dictate everything you do, what you spend your money on, where you travel to, who you see, what content you watch. The list is endless as long as they have control over your spending. And this will all become progressively worse with the introduction of the Brit,
as in Revelation the 13th chapter, buying or selling. Okay, except he that have the mark. Okay.
Coin, the proposed digital currency. And then
let's get this straight. This is just a card. This is probably a digital thing that goes on your phone or whatever else. This is all precursors to the implant that'll have all this same information. Okay? We're not saying this is it here. It'll be a mandatory system where it goes inside your body. Okay?
round off Keir Starmer's totalitarian objective, a social credit system similar to that which they already have in China will follow. Accidentally travel 1 mile over the speed limit, the government will pull the money directly from your bank account immediately, no appeal possible. Say something the government doesn't like online, banned from social media for 3 months. Full control. So this is the point I want to be really clear about. Some will call this fear-mongering, and others will say just because it hasn't been proposed, it's definitely not going to happen. These people, unfortunately, have small and narrow minds. You need to begin thinking about the future and not just what's coming in the next few months. As I said before, if the government already have access to all of your personal data that they're requesting to begin with, what do they really need the Brit card for? Your life will never be better by giving the government more control over it. And so this really will be a test of whether the left and the right can work together for a joint cause. Because this is the first time in a long time that a change is coming that benefits no one. If there was ever a time to find common ground, it's now. And I'd like to think that after doing so, we can all realise that there is so much more that connects us than divides us. Resist the Brit card at all. The UK government.
What does that control lead to? Okay. So you can buy sunlight at night anywhere in the world. Really? Watch.
That's a new lighting service. You can play with the spot. Watch this.
So they will be selling sunlight to people at night. So imagine it like a Uber Eats for sunlight. And the way that they're doing this is by using satellites to reflect sun rays down to Earth. And it will be using 50 small satellites orbiting Earth. And you'll be able to purchase sunlight up to 30 minutes at a time.
Now, is this true? Who cares? The point is the idea, okay, of this level of control, this godlike power, is what they're seeking. Okay, they can do this. I had another video. I can't seem to find it. I'm gonna go through. I've been through the chats already. I'm gonna try to find it. But it pretty much outlined what a dystopian would look like. Okay, a complete control. It actually mirrored a Black Mirror episode. Okay, and I don't remember where it was. Let's see one more time if I can find it.
And that is why today I am announcing this government will make a new free of charge digital ID mandatory for the right to work. by the end of this Parliament. Let me spell that out. You will not be able to work in the United Kingdom if you do not have digital ID. It's as simple as that. And that is why today I am announcing this government will make a new free of charge digital ID mandatory for the right to work by the end of this Parliament. Let me spell that out. You will not be able to work in the United Kingdom if you do not have digital ID. It's as simple as that.
Coming soon to the U.S. To the next one, Shalom.